So in this video, what I'm going to do is explain the simple steps and show you the equipment and gadgets that you might need in order to be able to use your Boss GT1 um, as a practice vessel and to be able to record your work into your iPhone so that you can listen or post or, and you don't need a mixer or anything fancy. Um, Basically, like anything, when it comes to streaming or recording what you're doing for the internet, you'll always need some sort of specialized cables. Usually it's adapters or some sort of specified equipment. Um, and in this case, there are a couple things that you will need, and I'm going to explain it to you. And hopefully you will understand, and let's start. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, and it's really no particular order, we're going to set everything up. We're going to hook everything in that we need to the GT1. In my case, I am going to connect the electric guitar last because the GT1 is, you may or may not know, activated. Even though this is plugged into power, the GT1 is actually activated when you put your instrument jack into the input in the back. So just to avoid any, weird things happening, or we'll power it up last. So basically the signal flow, though, is, just so you know what we're doing here, is you have your electric guitar goes into the GT1, and then the signal gets outputted to wherever you want it to go. In this case, it's going to be our iPhone. So from there, we need something to act in between the GT1 and allowing our iPhones to record the signal. In this case, it's something called the iRig. Now, I picked this up years ago and I never used it because I wasn't playing electric at the time, and I didn't really understand anything. I didn't know how anything worked, and on a whim, I saw it somewhere and I thought, oh, that would be a great thing to have. So I picked this unit up for what says here, $32 Canadian, probably a little more now. There's also the iRig Pro. This is just a regular iRig. So this is what will do all the work for us in converting and sending the signal from the GT1 into something that our iPhone can record. Now, depending on the iPhone you use, this is an older iPhone, so I've got the headphone jack in the bottom. This is an iPhone 6. So, of course, I'll have no problem doing that. Connecting this 1/8 headphone jack into my iPhone. Simple. But some of you will have probably the newer iPhones, and those do not have the headphone jacks. And of course, Bluetooth isn't an option here. So you'll need a little adapter. You'll need something like this, okay? I always recommend getting the proper Apple adapter. It might cost a few dollars more, but trust me, the one thing I did learn on my journeys is that there's nothing worse than buying cheap stuff, and Apple goes out of their way to make the cheap stuff not work, and you don't know that. So you think you're doing something wrong, or there's something wrong in your chain, and you spend hours trying to figure it out, when really all it was just, a $10, $20 piece of equipment. So I always recommend getting the proper Apple one. You'll want to listen to yourself, of course, and you'll do that with headphones or earbuds that have to be wired, okay? And you will also need an aux cable if you would like to import backing tracks or just listen to Spotify and jam along. This is for importing from your phone into the GT1. And again, In this example, I'm using a Samsung, regular Samsung phone, Android as it were, to import. And again, because I don't have those jacks, I needed to get a adapter. In my case, USB-C, yours may be different, to headphone, which is, I believe they call the 1/8, okay? Goes in the bottom just like your iPhone, and now I'm ready for that. So let's put it all together. Okay, so again, normally we would do our instrument first, and there's no reason why you couldn't. I just want to avoid any issues with making noises through the system. So we're going to do that last. So we're going to assume we're connected right now, and that will go to the input, which also says power on. So this cable will go in here when we're ready, and that will turn on the GT1. In the meantime, we'll pass over that, okay? And the next thing we'll do is we will set up our output. In other words, we've jammed, we've got backing music playing, and we want that to go to our iPhone. So again, we'll need a simple instrument jack, okay, with the one ring right here. That's your standard instrument jack. Not to be confused with a TRS, which we'll discuss in another video. So this is your standard instrument jack. It can be any length, okay? If you only have a 12 or a 15 or an 18 footer, it don't matter. Just, you know, maybe loop it around a few times. I always keep little ties, twist ties around, okay? And or you can buy, these are, I believe, 3-foot cables, and they're quite handy. So in this case, I'm going to plug into the output, okay, of the GT1, and I'll be plugging it into the left, which is the mono, okay? So we plug that in there. Now this here will go to your iRig, and that plugs in there, all right? So far, so good. The iRig will plug into your iPhone. So again, if you have an older iPhone, okay, away you go. Now your output is ready to receive. If you don't have that 1/8, but you only have the lightning port on the bottom of your newer iPhone, there's our adapter. This goes in the bottom of that. And this will plug into the bottom of your iPhone. Okay? So now, either way, we are ready to receive all the goodies that we put into the GT1, all the stuff we play along with those things. We're ready to record it, if you'd like to record it. Now, you're going to want to monitor yourself, and there's really only one way to do that, and that is by using a set of headphones or earbuds. And once again, they must be wired. So in this case, I have my headphones with my jack. Now, if you wanted more, sometimes, you know, you move around, your cable's not very long, and it pulls at your ear, especially if you're wearing in-ears, like I have in-ear monitors, and you step on the cable or it gets crimped or something, and you feel it pulling in your ears, and that's really annoying. If you would like to extend this, you just have to get an extension cable, and those are available in any, here we have a store called The Source, you know, all little gadgets, electronic stuff. And it's basically an aux cable, but one end is a receptor, a female, and one end is a male. So what you would do, you would plug your headphone into here, and now you've got an extra long headphone cable. We don't need that for what we're doing today, so we're just going to go with your basic headphones. And those are going to go into clearly marked headphone jack. Okay? All right. So now we've got our output ready to go, and we can listen to it. Okay? The next thing we want to do is we want to be able to bring music into the GT1 that we can jam along to. So we're going to do this. Again, I'm using a Android phone for this. You can use an iPhone. In this case, we're going to need a standard aux cable. So there we go. One end is going to go into the back of the GT1, which is marked aux in. Okay, that snaps in here. Now the other end of this will go to the phone or device that is providing the music for you. Now, again, in my case, because my phone does not have the appropriate jack, I needed an adapter, which I got on Amazon for $10, $15, something like that. And again, the theory here is it has a female end, which takes the male plug from here, clips in, and into my phone. Okay. I use Spotify. You could use Apple Music. I also use Radio Paradise, which is an internet station that I quite enjoy. I suppose if you have iTunes and you have backing tracks on your phone, you could use that as well. But here we're talking about how to get that into your GT1. So let's just do a quick recap. So we have the music we listen to jam to, is set up through our aux cord into our aux outlet. In order to hear the fruits of our labor, we've got an instrument jack in the output mono left, into our iRig, into our iPhone. Okay? And now we're just going to connect the guitar. So again, a standard instrument cable. I like to use short ones, just as much as I need. You can't see, but we're going to plug. Here we go. We are going to plug the one end, as we would normally do, into our guitar. I'm going to keep it off to the side for now. And the other end, we are going to plug into the clearly marked input power on plug or jack in our GT1. So you'll notice the screen has lit up. Okay. And we are ready to go. So now, all you need to do is play your guitar. If you have whatever settings that you would like to use, you use the GT1 as you normally would by pressing play. I'm just going to hit play here. You can't hear it because of copyright reasons, but music is now coming through my headphones. I adjust the volume accordingly to match the output, or I can adjust the output on the GT1. Usually it's out level of the patch to match what's coming in, so I'm not overwhelmed. And we'll do a video about that another time. And now all we have to do is play our instrument. Okay, so again, you won't hear this, but everything is going into my headphones. And as far as recording, all I would have to do is go to my I got a low battery. I use my camera. You could probably use your voice voice recording app. I use my camera so I can actually watch myself play as well. So I'm actually creating a video. But again, if you just want voice only, you could probably use your recorder app. Hit record and jam. It's that easy. Well, it's not that easy when you start out, but hopefully thanks to me, I've made it a little bit easier for you. Again, I'm Ray. Thanks for joining me, and I hope helped out.